So, another employee tries to get me fired. Guys, I am so sick and tired of employees trying to get me fired. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Every time it's an employee that tries to get me caught up in some bullshit, it's always the ones that look like me. Just going to be honest with you guys. It's always the ones that look like me. Whether it's a female or male. So let me just tell you, so I get back to work today. Well, let me take a step back. So last summer, I fired a female, right? Fired a black female. Let me take you guys through the story real quick, because I got a lot of subscribers since that happened last summer. So last summer, I fired a black female for theft and for stealing, right? She investigation was performed by our LP department. Plenty of video footage of her stealing money, and not only money but also food. So I let her go. Guys, when I came to this travel stop, when I got transferred to this current travel stop, it was in May of 2024, right? And she was a shift leader. And hard-working shift leader. She wanted to move up with the company. And but she was raw. She was rough around the edges. She had a mouth on her, bad mouth. And I said, I can help you get promoted. I could get you moved up to an assistant. I can have you in a position where you're making more money than you ever made in your life. But you have to control that mouth, right? She worked on it. I worked with her. She had a great work ethic. Worked her ass off. Reliable. Worked hard. She worked on her mouth. I promoted her to one of the assistant managers in the travel stop, right? So I get her promoted. I work with her. I develop her. Get her promoted. She gets promoted. And then we gave her a salary. And she told me, Frank, this is the most money I've ever made in my life. She was like 34 years old. We're paying her the most money she's ever made in her life. I have to get there. Because one thing about me, I know how to develop people. If you got the work ethic, I can develop you. So, ended up firing her in May of 2025. Ended up firing her, right? So then when I fired her, she called in a false claim of sexual harassment on me. Said I was sexually harassing all of the females in the entire travel center. That's what she told HR after I fired her. So of course a whole investigation had to be completed. All the females had to be talked to, and of course I'm still employed. It was unfounded, untrue. But we already knew, like me and my boss, my district manager and my regional manager, they already knew. We already knew it was her. I mean, the date I fired her, just say I fired her today, and then tomorrow she calls in to HR with this false claim. So the claim was unsubstantiated, so everything good. But the thing that pissed me off about it is because I have a very good name in our company. Very good name. I have a very good name in my company. My name goes throughout the company. Everybody knows me. I've been here 15 years. And I've performed for 15 years. So I got a great name within my company. And that's one thing I hated about the whole situation, because you're ruining my name. So, bring you up to speed now. Get back to work today. Get a phone call from my regional, right? And basically he was telling me that a gentleman, I had two employees that were dating. And And the gentleman was married. But that ain't my business. That's not my business. The gentleman was married, and he was dating one of my employees. Now, the company policy is a manager, assistant managers and above, you cannot date any crew members, because we're looked at as higher management, upper management. You can't date crew members. But anybody that's paid hourly, we can't really do anything about that. We can't stop 2 hourly crew members from dating each other. Can't do it. So this gentleman and this lady got into an argument on the sales floor like 2 months ago. We had to do an investigation. We had to look at camera footage. We had to get statements from every employee that was there. My managers that was there at the time had to get statements. And so once the investigation was concluded, I had to let the gentleman go, right? So when I let him go, he wasn't happy. He was like, this BS, this bull crap. You taking her word over mine. I'm like, dude, I'm not taking her word over yours. All the statements say you were the aggressor. The video shows you were the aggressor. You're walking up in her face, and I covered my bases. I got your HR involved and got their opinion. And this is what their recommendation is. You're being let go. So I found out today, my regional called me, and he basically told me that the guy called 2 months ago, but he never told me. My regional never told me. He was like, because they knew he was calling. So how you want to say retaliation? They knew that he was calling because he was just terminated for not sleeping, but for having a fight with that employee on the sales floor. But he called HR the next day and told HR that I probably had something going on with the female. And my regional told me, he was like, you know what? He was like, they called, they asked her about it. She said, no. So that was the end of discussion. But I'm like, man, it's always, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm a black man. Every time I have an HR issue, it's because of a black individual. And I'm just being honest, man. I'm just being honest. Every time I have a damn HR issue, it's for the black person. I mean, it's crazy how my own people that look like me want to see my downfall. That's why, guys, at work, I just carry myself professional at all times. I don't joke around. I don't make I don't joke around. I don't get involved with people's issues. I come in, run my travel stop, I go home. Because every time I have to terminate somebody, they always want to call HR and said I treated them unfairly. It's either I treated them unfairly or I was dating somebody or I touched somebody. And it's never been true. Never been true. And it's always from somebody that looks like me. And this instance was a guy. You're running around here cheating on your wife with an employee you work with, but then you want to tell HR, I'm probably sleeping with her. Are you serious, man? That's why I go to work. I do my job. I don't get involved with people's personal lives. I stay to myself. I'm professional. And I call it a day and I go home. Because every time I got to terminate somebody, I'm just going to be honest with you. Every time I have to terminate a black individual, that's why I have to make sure all my ducks is in a row. All my documentations are in a row. Make sure I involve HR in the termination. Make sure all my ducks in a row. Because every time I have to fire a black person, they always come back and try to get me fired on some bullshit. Every fucking time. Every fucking time. I don't even have an issue with white people. White people, Hispanic people, whatever. If I fire them, they're going about their business, going with their life. But every time I fire a black person, they always come back and try to get me fired. That's why I got to always make sure my head is on a swivel. I'm following all the rules, policies, and procedures. I got to make sure I'm fair with everybody. Everybody's treated fairly, because if I don't, these assholes are going to come back and try to get me fired. Oh, man. That just pissed me off, and I just had to vent. That pissed me off, and I had to vent. But it is what it is. But yeah, that's why I gotta, like I said, keep my head on the swivel, guys, and make sure I walk a fine line. Yeah, guys, I just wanted to come in and vent this out real quick. Appreciate your time. Have a great day. This is Frank. I'm out here.